What if I told you that within the most read book in history, a detailed map to lasting prosperity has been hidden in plain sight, and that one of the greatest masters of wealth from the 20th century, a man who dedicated his life to studying the minds of the most successful people, unknowingly gave us the precise key to decipher this ancient code? Imagine for a moment that the financial security and peace of mind you seek are not a matter of chance or even harder work, but of understanding a divine blueprint that has always been available to you. This is not about wishful thinking or a vague hope for a better tomorrow. It is about a sacred technology for achievement, a set of instructions that, once understood and applied, can fundamentally realign your reality from one of struggle to one of deliberate, consistent, and divinely ordained success. We are speaking of a truth so profound that it has been overlooked by millions who read the words but miss the message entirely. For generations, we have been taught to see certain sacred texts as sources of comfort, as poems of passive hope to be recited in times of trouble. But what if their true purpose was far more active, far more dynamic? What if they were designed as a spiritual instruction manual, a strategic guide for building a life of abundance here on earth? The secret lies not just in the words themselves, but in the potent combination of ancient spiritual lore with the modern understanding of the human mind. This synergy creates a powerful frequency, a vibration that attracts the very resources and opportunities you have been praying for, revealing a path that was there all along. The scroll we will unroll today is known as Psalm 37, but we will not read it as a simple prayer. We will decode it as a divine action plan, a series of strategic directives from the ultimate CEO of the universe. When you combine this divine briefing with the correct mental framework, the principles of focused thought and unwavering faith, abundance ceases to be a mere possibility. It becomes an inevitable outcome. The life you were meant to live, one of financial peace and spiritual fulfillment, is not something you must earn through endless struggle. It is something you are meant to unlock, to activate from within, and the key is about to be placed in your hands. For decades, you have honored the unspoken contract of a well-lived life. You know intimately the sound of the alarm clock, piercing the silence long before the sun even considers rising. You have felt the cold floor under your feet as you prepared to face another day, another list of duties, another mountain of expectations. This relentless cycle was supposed to be the path to security, the honorable road to a peaceful harvest in the autumn of your years. You have given your time, your energy, your very life force to this pursuit, believing that your dedication would eventually be met with the promised reward. But as you stand here today, you can't help but feel a quiet sense of bewilderment, a feeling that the destination seems to be moving further away with every step you take. Do you recognize that familiar weight in the late hours of the night? The house is quiet, the world is asleep, but your mind is wide awake, wrestling with figures that never seem to add up. It's the silent ritual of the kitchen table calculator, where you stretch and pull and rearrange numbers, trying to build a fortress of security out of a dwindling supply of resources. This constant, low-grade anxiety has become your unwelcome companion, a shadow that whispers doubts about the future and questions every financial decision. It is the heavy price of responsibility, a burden you have carried with dignity, yet you yearn for the day when you can finally put it down and breathe truly and deeply. A sigh of genuine peace. You have lived a life of integrity. You have done the right thing, even when no one was watching. You've played by the rules of hard work and honest dealings, firm in the belief that your character would be your greatest asset. Yet, you look around and see others who seem to navigate life with a different set of rules, prospering with an ease that feels almost unfair. This isn't about jealousy. It is a profound and unsettling confusion. It's the feeling of running a marathon with all your might, only to watch others effortlessly glide past you. This frustration plants a seed of doubt, making you question if the very principles you have built your life upon are somehow incomplete, or worse, fundamentally misunderstood. And then, there is the spiritual component, the most intimate part of your struggle. You have prayed. You have held fast to your faith, believing in a benevolent power that watches over you and desires your well-being. You have sent your hopes and pleas into the universe, asking for guidance, for relief, for a sign that you are on the right path. But the silence that often follows can be deafening, leading to a quiet crisis of the soul. You begin to wonder if your prayers are being heard, if your faith is strong enough, or if you have somehow missed a crucial instruction. This spiritual exhaustion is perhaps the heaviest burden of all, the feeling that even your connection to the divine is being tested beyond its limits. Imagine yourself on a treadmill, set to a challenging incline. You are running, sweating, your muscles burning with effort. You are undeniably putting in the work, pouring every ounce of your energy into the motion. Yet, at the end of an hour, when you are completely spent, you step off and find yourself in the exact same spot where you began. This is the perfect metaphor for the lives of so many good, hardworking people. The effort is real, the exhaustion is palpable, but the forward progress is an illusion. You are busy, but are you productive? You are moving, but are you advancing toward your desired destination? This sense of stagnation is the true source of your disillusionment. This deep fear, the one you rarely speak aloud, is the dread of arriving at your golden years with empty hands and a heart full of regrets. It is the terror of realizing that the sacrifices you made, the family events you missed, the personal dreams you deferred were not enough. The vision of a future where you are not financially free, where you cannot be a source of support for your loved ones, and where you must still worry about basic needs is a haunting specter. It's the fear that the story of your life, a story of immense effort and unwavering faith, will end with a chapter of lack and dependence. This is the core pain that keeps you searching for an answer, for a missing piece to the puzzle. Does this resonate deep within your soul? Have you ever felt that silent scream of frustration building inside, the one that asks, "What more must I do?" Do you know the feeling of profound weariness that has nothing to do with physical labor and everything to do with a spirit that has been striving for so long? If you are nodding your head, even just internally, know that you are not alone. This is the shared, unspoken experience of millions of awakened souls who sense that there must be a better way, a more graceful path to the abundance they were promised. This feeling is not a sign of failure. It is the stirring of your inner wisdom, telling you it is time to look for a new map. Finally, understand this crucial truth. Your situation is not a reflection of your worth, nor is it a judgment on your faith or your effort. You have not been forgotten or forsaken. You have simply been operating with an incomplete set of instructions, a cultural blueprint that glorifies effort but neglects the vital importance of spiritual and mental alignment. You have been trying to build a magnificent skyscraper using only the tools for laying the foundation. The immense power required to build upward has been within your grasp all along, but you were never shown how to turn it on. Your journey of frustration ends now, because you are about to be handed the correct blueprint and the master key. So, what is the barrier that has stood between your relentless effort and your desired peace? The true enemy is not a lack of opportunity, nor a flaw in your character. The enemy is a subtle and pervasive form of programming, a scarcity mindset that has been masterfully disguised as folk wisdom for centuries. You have been taught to worship at the altar of hard work. You have been told that God helps those who help themselves, and that the sole key to success is to simply outwork everyone else. These sayings are not entirely false, but they are dangerously incomplete. They represent one half of the equation of creation, focusing entirely on the physical output while completely neglecting the mental and spiritual input that gives that output direction and power. This incomplete wisdom is the true source of your exhaustion. Think of it this way. Your hard work, your sheer effort is a powerful engine, but an engine, no matter how powerful, is useless without a steering wheel, a destination, and a map to get there. Working hard without a defined mental plan and a deep spiritual alignment is precisely like trying to navigate a vast stormy ocean without a map or a compass. You can row with all your might, you can exhaust every muscle in your body, but you will only be at the mercy of the currents, drifting aimlessly and eventually sinking from the sheer fatigue of it all. The reason you feel so drained is because your immense energy is being expended without a clear, unwavering directive from your inner guidance system. This brings us to a fundamental choice between two very different paths. The first is the path of effort, the one taught by the world. It is the path of the treadmill, where your value is measured by your sweat and your success is always one more task away. This path is paved with anxiety and fueled by the fear of not doing enough. But there is another way. It is the path of alignment. On this path, your primary work is internal. It involves clarifying your purpose, programming your mind for success, and connecting with a divine power that guides your actions. Here, the external work you do is no longer a desperate struggle, but a joyful and inspired expression of an inner certainty. This is the path from which true, lasting prosperity is born. Prepare yourself now, for this is the moment the path of effort gives way to the path of alignment. What I'm about to share is a key that has been forged from two seemingly disparate worlds, ancient scripture and modern mindset science. We must first approach the source of our divine strategy, not as a simple poem or a song of hope, but as what it truly is: a divine briefing. The verses of Psalm 37 are not passive platitudes. They are a set of highly condensed, strategic directives from the ultimate mente mestra divina. This is not a text to be read for comfort, but a celestial memorandum to be studied for instruction. It is a sacred document that outlines the immutable laws of spiritual prosperity, a treasure map that has been waiting for someone with the right tools to read it correctly. And what is the tool that allows us to read this map, and more importantly, to act upon its instructions? It was given to us by a man who spent over 2 decades in the presence of the world's most successful individuals, a man who was tasked with creating the world's first philosophy of personal achievement. The work of Napoleon Hill is not merely a collection of motivational ideas, it is the operations manual for the human mind. He did not invent these principles, he discovered them. He codified the exact mental mechanics that allow an individual to transform an intangible desire into its physical, financial equivalent. Hill's work provides the precise step-by-step methodology for programming your own consciousness for success, making your mind a fertile ground where seeds of intention can grow without fail. Herein lies the revelation, the turning point that will change everything for you. The great secret is the synthesis of these 2 powerful artifacts. What happens when you take the divine briefing from Psalm 37, the what and the why, and you execute it using the operations manual for the human mind developed by Napoleon Hill, the how? The result is nothing short of miraculous. Yet it is not a miracle of chance, it is a miracle of design. When you use the manual to execute the briefing, prosperity ceases to be a distant hope you pray for. It becomes a project you manage, a result you engineer. You are no longer just a supplicant asking for blessings. You become a co-creator, consciously and deliberately aligning your thoughts and actions with divine law to produce a specific, intended outcome. Let us now begin the sacred work of decoding. We will approach this divine briefing not as scholars, but as architects of a new reality. The first strategic command is found in the 3rd verse of Psalm 37. It is the very foundation upon which all lasting prosperity is built. The directive is this: trust in the Lord and do good. On the surface, these words are a simple call to faith and morality, but when viewed through the lens of Napoleon Hill's science of achievement, they reveal a dynamic formula for creation. This is not a passive suggestion to simply believe and be nice. It is a powerful 2-part instruction for aligning your inner world of thought with your outer world of action to produce predictable, material results. First, let us dissect the command to trust. In the vocabulary of the worldly, trust is a fragile hope, a dependency on external forces. But in the language of Hill, and in the context of this briefing, trust is an active, creative force. It is the principle of faith. Faith is not wishing. It is knowing. It is the unwavering conviction in the reality of your unseen goal. Napoleon Hill called faith the head chemist of the mind, the element that, when mixed with thought, connects you to infinite intelligence and gives your desires a tangible form. To trust in the Lord is to program your mind with such absolute certainty in your success that your entire being begins to operate from that future reality, drawing it toward you in the present. The second part of the command is to do good. Again, the surface meaning is simply to be a person of good character. While this is true, the deeper strategic meaning is far more practical. In the philosophy of achievement, doing good means providing exceptional value. It is the principle of rendering more service and better service than is expected of you. All lasting wealth is a direct result of valuable service rendered. Therefore, this command instructs you to identify your unique contribution to the world and to perform it with excellence, not as a means to an end, but as an expression of your very being. Doing good is the physical manifestation of your inner faith, the channel through which spiritual energy becomes material currency. The true power of this first directive lies in the fusion of these 2 elements. Faith without service is a fantasy that never materializes. Service without faith is the exhausting path of effort you have known for so long. It is action born of desperation, fueled by anxiety and the fear of scarcity. It is this combination that short-circuits the creative process for most people. When you successfully merge an unshakable faith in your outcome with dedicated, excellent service, your actions become inspired. They are no longer a frantic struggle for something, but a confident expression of something you already possess within your consciousness. This is the critical shift from begging to creating. Let us use our central metaphor to make this tangible. The divine GPS is your guide to prosperity. The act of trusting in the Lord is the moment you enter your desired destination into this GPS. You do not hope the destination is real. You know it is. You decree it. You have absolute faith that the system has registered your goal and is now calculating the most efficient route. You are not anxious or worried. You are certain. This act of programming the destination is the foundational work of faith. It is an internal decision of profound certainty, a settled fact in your mind long before it appears in your reality. However, Programming the GPS is not enough. You must still operate the vehicle. The command to do good is the act of driving. It is your daily work, your chosen profession, your craft. It is the hands-on application of your skills and talents in service to others. But now, your driving is different. You are not aimlessly wandering, hoping to find your destination. You are following the clear, turn-by-turn instructions provided by your GPS, your inner knowing, your intuition, your faith. Your work is no longer a source of stress, but a joyful cooperation with a divine plan that is guiding you moment by moment toward your predetermined goal of prosperity. So, how do you apply this first directive today? The mental action for building trust is to define your primary goal with absolute crystalline clarity. Write it down in a clear, concise statement. Then, twice a day, upon waking and before sleeping, read this statement aloud. Close your eyes and see, feel, and believe yourself already in possession of this goal. This repetition is the work of impressing your desire upon the subconscious mind, the process of manufacturing unwavering faith until the idea of failure becomes an impossibility in your mind. This is how you program the divine GPS. The corresponding physical action for doing good is to consciously elevate your level of service. Today, in your job, your business, or your home, find one specific way to go the extra mile. Do more than you are paid for. Perform your work with a spirit of excellence and generosity, not because you are seeking an immediate reward, but as a statement of your faith. Let your work become your prayer in action. This act of giving more value than is expected is what makes you an indispensable force, opening the channels of material compensation to flow toward you naturally and abundantly. In essence, this first decoding shifts you from a state of desperate doing to one of inspired being. You cease to be a person who works hard in order to become wealthy and peaceful. You begin to operate as the person who already is wealthy and peaceful in spirit, and whose work is simply the natural outpouring of that inner state of being. You establish a clear cause in your mind through faith, and you manifest the effect in your life through exceptional service. This foundational alignment makes the next step in our divine sequence not only possible, but inevitable. With this foundation of faith-fueled service firmly in place, we are now prepared to receive the second directive. It is found in the very next verse, Psalm 37:4, and it is the key to amplifying your creative power exponentially. The command is this: delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. This instruction often mystifies people. Delight seems like a passive emotional state, not a strategy for success. But within this word lies the secret to unlocking boundless energy, motivation, and attracting power, transforming your journey from a duty into a joy. Let us decode the command to delight. This is not merely about being happy or cheerful. In the language of Napoleon Hill, to delight in your purpose is to engage your burning desire. It is to find that one central passion of your life and to align your work completely with it. Delighting in the Lord means to delight in the unique purpose and talents the divine has placed within your soul. It is about organizing your life and your work around the activities that make you feel most alive, most authentic, and most connected to your Creator. When you are in a state of delight, your work ceases to feel like work at all. Then comes the promise, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. This is not a guarantee that a cosmic entity will grant your every whim. It is a statement of metaphysical law. When you are truly delighting in your divine purpose, your personal desires begin to purify and align with the will of the universe. The selfish wants of the ego fall away, and the desires that remain are the very things that infinite intelligence wishes to express through you. Your heart's desire becomes the universe's desire for you. You are no longer trying to force your will upon the world. You are acting as a willing and joyful channel for divine expression. The synergy here is what creates a magnetic personality and an unstoppable drive. A burning desire for a goal, when aligned with a definite chief aim that serves others, is the most potent combination for achievement known to man. Passion without a defined service-based purpose is merely a fleeting obsession. A purpose without the fuel of a passionate desire becomes a joyless obligation, which eventually leads to burnout. But when you find the work that you love so much, you would do it for free, and you organize it into a plan to serve humanity, you become a force of nature. Let's return to our divine GPS. Delighting is what happens when you don't just program a practical destination, but a place you are incredibly passionate about visiting. Imagine the difference in your energy when your destination is a routine business meeting versus a beautiful tropical island you've dreamed of your whole life. The passion for the destination, your burning desire, is the fuel for the journey. It makes you eager to get in the car and drive. It fills you with excitement and energy, making any obstacles on the road seem trivial in comparison to the joy of the destination. This emotional connection also transforms your vehicle. It is no longer just a functional tool for transportation. The act of driving itself becomes a pleasure. Your work, your service, which was once just a means to an end, is now an act of joy. Each task completed, each person served, brings you a sense of fulfillment because you know it is taking you one step closer to the manifestation of your heart's greatest desire. This is the state where you produce your greatest work, where you are most creative, and where you become a magnet for opportunities that match your vibrant, positive frequency. The mental action to activate this principle is to embark on a journey of self-discovery. Take time to be silent and ask yourself, what truly brings me delight? What activities make me lose all track of time? Write down everything that comes to mind, without judgment. Then ask a second question. How can I organize these passions into a service that would be of value to other people? This exercise is the beginning of uncovering your definite chief aim, the purpose that will serve as the focal point for all your energy and desire. From this list, you must then crystallize your passion into a clear and definite goal. The desires of your heart cannot remain as vague dreams. You must translate them into a specific written statement of intent. What do you want to achieve? Who do you want to become? Who do you want to serve? This statement becomes your new North Star. It is the destination you program into the GPS, the vision that you will hold in your mind as you fall asleep at night and review as you wake up in the morning, infusing every moment of your day with purpose and passion. By applying this second directive, you are adding the high-octane fuel of passion to the engine of your faith-driven actions. You are ensuring that your journey toward prosperity is not a long, arduous march, but a joyful, energetic, and magnetic process. Abundance does not flow to those who suffer the most. It flows to those who are most aligned with their joyful, divine purpose. Your delight becomes your attracting power. You are now operating with both certainty and passion. There is only one final piece of the puzzle required to make your success unshakable. We now arrive at the third and most advanced directive in our divine briefing. It is found in Psalm 37, verse 7, and it contains a profound paradox that is the final secret to manifestation. The command is, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him." After being instructed to trust, have faith, and to do, act with purpose, we are now told to rest and wait. To the uninitiated mind, this sounds like a call to inaction, to laziness, but to the master of mindset, this is the ultimate technique of power. It is the final crucial step of releasing your desire to the creative power of the universe. Let us decode rest in the Lord. This is not physical rest. It is not sleeping or ceasing your work. It is the act of achieving mental rest. In Napoleon Hill's terms, this is the process of mastering your subconscious mind. After you have consciously chosen your goal, impressed it upon your subconscious through faith-filled repetition, and aligned your actions with it, you must then cease all mental struggle. You must stop the anxiety, the worry, the questioning. To rest is to let go of the how, and to trust completely in the infinite power within you to orchestrate the events necessary for your success. Next, we decode the instruction to wait patiently. This is not the passive, bored waiting you experience in a long queue. This is an active, confident state of expectation. Think of a farmer who has planted a seed in fertile ground. He does not anxiously dig up the seed every day to check on its progress. To do so would kill it. Instead, he waits patiently. He waters the soil, removes the weeds, and confidently expects the harvest, because he knows he has followed the laws of agriculture. This patient waiting is a state of mind free from doubt and fear, the two emotions that are most corrosive to your creative purpose. The synergy of these two states, mental rest and patient expectation, creates an incubator for your desire. Once a goal has been properly planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind, it requires a period of gestation, free from the destructive vibrations of fear and doubt. Your conscious mind's job is to act as a guardian at the gate, refusing to allow any negative thought or suggestion to enter and disturb the creative process happening beneath the surface. Resting and waiting is the act of standing guard, holding fast to your vision with the calm certainty that its manifestation is already in progress and is now inevitable. Returning to our divine GPS one last time, this final principle is your behavior. Once you are on the main highway, heading toward your destination, you have programmed the goal. Trust. You are filled with excitement for the destination. Delight. Now you rest by putting the car on cruise control. You relax your white-knuckled grip on the steering wheel. You cease to worry about the engine's mechanics or the exact science of the satellite connection. You trust the system that you have set in motion to do its job. This state allows you to wait patiently. You are not idle. You are still steering, watching the road, and making small adjustments as guided by the GPS. But your energy is calm, focused, and relaxed. You enjoy the scenery. You're in a state of alert tranquility, knowing that you are on the right path and that you will be notified when your exit is approaching. This is the mental state of the master creator, actively engaged in the present moment, but completely detached from and confident in the future outcome. It is a state of profound peace and unstoppable power. To apply this principle, you must practice the art of conscious surrender. The mental action is to perfect your pre-sleep ritual. As the final act of your day, turn your goal over completely to your subconscious mind. Verbally state, I'm now turning this desire over to the infinite power within me. I rest in the certainty that it knows how to bring it to pass. Feel the relief of releasing the burden of how from your conscious shoulders. This is how you rest in the Lord, allowing a greater power to take over the complex logistics of creation. The corresponding daily practice for waiting patiently is to master your emotional responses to doubt. When a thought of fear or worry enters your mind, do not fight with it or resist it. Simply acknowledge it and gently replace it with your chosen mantra. Use the powerful phrase key we have established. My faith is my plan, and my work is my prayer. This acts as a course correction, immediately returning your mind to a state of confident expectation and protecting the seed of your desire from the poison of negativity. By integrating this third and final directive, you complete the sacred trinity of creation. You begin with unwavering faith in your defined purpose. You fuel your journey with the burning desire of delight, and you protect the entire process with the peaceful certainty of restful expectation. This is the complete formula hidden within the verses of Psalm 37, decoded through the lens of the science of achievement. This is not a religious doctrine, but a spiritual technology. It is a repeatable system for co-creating a life of abundance, peace, and purpose. You now possess the three-part sequence: trust and do, delight, and rest. In the language of the mind, you have the formula: faith and service, fueled by burning desire and protected by subconscious surrender. These are not separate steps to be completed in order, but a holistic state of being to be cultivated daily. They are the interlocking gears of the divine engine of prosperity. When you live from this place of alignment, the world of struggle and effort dissolves, and you enter a new reality where you are a powerful, conscious creator, guided by a divine plan, and equipped with the mental tools to build any life you can conceive. The knowledge has now been shared, the map has been decoded, and the key has been placed in your hands. But information alone does not create transformation. Before you stands a doorway, a threshold between the life you have known and the life that is waiting for you. I want you to take a moment and paint a vivid picture of this new reality in your mind. See yourself waking up in the morning, not to the jarring sound of an alarm, but to a gentle sense of purpose. Feel the absence of that familiar knot of anxiety in your stomach, replaced by a calm, creative energy for the day ahead. This is the first fruit of alignment, a life where your days are guided by inspiration, not desperation. Now, visualize your relationship with your finances. Imagine looking at your bank statements and feeling not a surge of panic or a sense of lack, but a quiet feeling of peace and gratitude. See yourself making financial decisions from a place of wisdom and abundance, knowing that you are a steward of the resources flowing through you. This is not a fantasy of endless riches, but a vision of true prosperity, having more than enough to meet your needs, with ample left over to invest in your dreams and secure your future. It is the end of the nightly ritual at the kitchen table with the calculator and the beginning of a life of financial serenity. But this transformation extends far beyond your own security. The ultimate purpose of abundance is overflow. Picture yourself as a source of blessings for your family, your community, and the world. Feel the profound joy of being able to give generously without fear, to support the people and causes you love, to be an anchor for others in times of need. Imagine the legacy you will build, one not of struggle but of strength, generosity, and empowerment. You are not just building a better life for yourself, you are becoming a channel through which divine abundance can flow into the lives of others. This is the true meaning of a prosperous life. This is the person you are being called to become, a person who walks with a quiet confidence, whose peace is not dependent on the whims of the economy or the opinions of others, a person whose security is internal, rooted in an unshakable connection to a divine plan. This future is not a distant dream to be wished for. It is a present reality to be chosen. The universe is not waiting for you to work harder. It is waiting for you to decide. The struggle does not end when you finally have enough money. It ends the moment you decide to operate by a new set of laws. So, the call to action today is not to like or subscribe. It is an invitation to a profound, internal transformation. The choice is yours. You can continue down the well-worn path of effort, the path of the treadmill that has left you exhausted and in the same place you were last year. Or, right here, right now, you can make a decision. You can decide that you are finished with the old programming. You can choose to step onto the path of alignment, to accept that a more graceful, powerful, and intelligent way of living is available to you this very moment. Let your first act on this new path be one of sacred intention. Tonight, before you sleep, do not simply seek distraction. Seek communion. Open the scripture to the 37th Psalm. Do not read it as a passive observer. Read it as if it were a personal letter from your Creator, a strategic plan delivered directly to you. Select the one verse, the one directive that resonated most deeply within your soul today, whether it was to trust, to delight, or to rest, and hold it in your consciousness. Do not merely read the words, absorb them. Let them bypass the skeptical conscious mind and sink deep into the fertile soil of your subconscious. Meditate on their true meaning. Then speak them aloud into the stillness of your room. Decrete this verse as your new operating principle, your new mental law. Declare that this is who you now are. This simple act, performed with sincere faith, is more powerful than 1,000 hours of mindless, unaligned labor. It is the beginning of your reprogramming. You now have the blueprint. You have the operations manual. You have the first step of your new journey. The rest is a matter of daily, conscious alignment. Let go of the old story of struggle and embrace the profound truth that your inner world creates your outer world. The power to build a life of abundance, peace, and purpose has been within you all along. Now you know how to unlock it. Remember this always, and let it become the rhythm of your new life. My faith is my plan, and my work is my prayer.